One of the things I always tell my students is you should label your quilt. It is a question of do as your teacher says, not as she does, however. But I understand that my lovely Janome machine has a function that will help me create my own. So who knows, I might get to do that. You're going to show me how I can do this?
I am. We've got a tapering function on the machine. If you can see on the corners, we can put different angles on some of the stitches, so we can create little boxes and borders for different things.
This is.
Yep. It's a little sample here of some of the stitches, and we'll have a look at them in more detail. And we can see how all the ends are tapered on there. Very straightforward to do. So we need to go into the little icon on the top here, which is the tapering. Select that. And you can see here we've got some stitches, but if we take, it looks like a little notebook on the top, that will bring us in the stitches that we can actually use the tapering function on. So for this one, I'm going to use a Greek key, so I can select the Greek key, and I can now, on here, it's showing me on the bottom, if I press that, all the different angles, and we can have the top and bottom with different angles if we want to.
Right.
But the ones for your quilt labels, we need a 45-degree angle top and a 45-degree angle bottom.
Okay.
It's also the feature on here, if you know how long you want this, you can work it out. So if I only want, say, 6 pattern repeats or 5 pattern repeats, there's a little calculator, and I'm going to pop in 5 pattern repeats. Okay, little calculators here, and it will just do those for me before it stops.
Okay, and it's all shown on the screen.
It's all shown on the screen. It's so easy, very visible. And again, we've got different ends. So I've got the 45 degrees. It's the one I always use. I'm going to go a little bit wild. I'm going to go 120 degrees, I think. So that's on the end and on the end there. And it will still do the same for me. So all we need to do now is sew. And it will sew that for me. And then again, when it's finished those 5 pattern repeats that I've set, it will stop.
Okay.
It's one of the times where you might want to take off the automatic foot lift and leave it with the needle set down into the machine. So when you pivot on the corner, you're not going to lose your position.
Yes, I can see that would be useful.
So again, it's one of the things it's worth having a little bit of an experiment with. So we can see that one. We've done the 120 degrees. It's not made a massive effect on that particular pattern. So I'm going to go in and try a different one. So I'm going to try this one, which I absolutely love. We'll try this one. Exactly the same. I've left the settings exactly the same.
Okay.
Don't need to go back in and change them if I don't want to. So again, this one. And it's just something you can have fun with and just experiment.
And what if you want to do more than one side?
You actually pivot on the corner. Okay. Then. So you can turn, you would finish the 45 degrees, you turn and pivot and set it. Okay.
This isn't quite long enough for me to go and make a cup of coffee in, is it?
No, well, not unless you want a very large label, then you could always do that. So it will.
This is too intense to do anything than this sort of thing. You wouldn't use it
so
on
press this, so we're going to stop this now.
Quilting and things. No.
There's different applications that you can use it for. It can be decorative. You know, you could do it with 1 or 2 pattern repeats and a taper in between and keep doing it repeatedly. There are lots of different ways that you can do it, but you can see on here where I've got the end caught under here when I started. I'm very naughty and didn't trim it off. But you can see how you can get the different effects.
My goodness,
and again, once again, I'll pop that out of the way, with the variegated threads, they're just fabulous for any work like this. They just really lift everything to a new dimension.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you never know.
You might make some labels.
Yeah, my little grandson Ollie might get a quilt with a label on it.